John Scott here for WrestleLine, and I'm joined by the one and only Olly Peace, and you are here for, of course, WrestleForce, what we're here for in Rayleigh today for your Halloween show. Very well known, I've got to say, around Essex, this particular show. How are you feeling for this show? How are you doing?
I'm alright, I'm exhausted right now. I've been here since 12, we've put the ring up, we've put the set up. But yeah, I'm sore from last night. I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to this because I love it so much that I push myself a lot. I took a lot of bumps last night even though I was sore, so I'm still sore now, but it's all good. I've got about 2 hours now to stretch and energise myself.
I was going to say, you've got to be one of the most relaxed promoters I've seen, like person putting all these together that I've ever seen before a show, but maybe this is why, because you're aching.
There's that, there's just, I've done this a lot of times now, so at this stage everything's on course. We've done this so many times now. In the early days I was stressing. Now I know the score, I can see we're doing all right. Mm-hmm. Everything's on schedule, so it's all good. And it doesn't help to stress. Yeah. You know this, but sometimes you have to go through it again and again to learn to relax. And fortunately over time you tend to just become a bit more confident in this sort of thing.
And WrestleForce, like as it's evolved, because it seems like it's got bigger and bigger. And I was looking at some of the stuff out there. I mean, it's quite a lot of stuff involved now. I mean, it's quite a big deal, WrestleForce. It's come a long, long way, and you've had a lot to do with that. How is it going, and like, where's the process do you think going to end up for WrestleForce?
Just having to keep doing more of the same. I wish it were easier to put on these shows and draw the numbers I draw. It's not really easier. You have to just keep working hard. I'm pretty content with what I'm doing. I think just more of the same, expect more of the same. I'm still working my arse off. I keep learning stuff all the time. You only get better as you go along, so.
Sure, and I ask a lot of people this, and you're somebody who's got, from a really good perspective, from a promoter's point of view, but lots of wrestlers sit on the fence, one or the other really, but the whole NXT UK stuff, does that bother you, or are you embracing that? Like as a promoter going around, has that affected you in any way?
It doesn't, no, because there's so much talent that it's, in some ways it helps, what you'd think, because you have the name brand, you have the notoriety, something to put on your poster. The thing is, every place is so different. One thing I've learned is just absolutely no rhyme or reason to this. There's no pattern. Things go up and down all the time. People you book who you think are names aren't always the draw, and there's I've got a couple of NXT UK guys on tonight. I put them on the poster. They'll do a great job in the ring, but and they pulled out tomorrow incidentally to do Progress. It doesn't really matter. There's people there willing to fill those shoes, so there's so much talent around. Yeah. If someone's been signed to NXT UK, there's about 3, 5, 10 other wrestlers. I was going to say, chomping at the bit to take the spot.
I was going to say, Essex seems to be really booming at the moment for talent, and there's quite a lot about. I mean, why is that, do you think?
Well, it's not just Essex. Everywhere I'm going, we're seeing great talent through. There's the Lucha Britannia and Bethnal Green, the London School Lucha Libre. You've got Knuckle Locks and you got Hustle, all run by good people. I think there's just so much knowledge around now. It's easy to get informed, and also when you're on a show and you're surrounded by people who are pushing themselves this hard, you tend to try and keep up in the race. So I think that helps. The fact that there's that competitive environment, there's a need to be at a certain standard. So you can't relax, you can't rest on your laurels.
And for anybody that doesn't know, that maybe hasn't seen a WrestleForce show, what is it about WrestleForce that distinguishes itself from anything else you think that's out there on the market at the moment? Like, if you come to one of these shows, what can you expect most times?
Well, it's a nice 5-card family show. It doesn't go on too long. I love wrestling, but my goodness, I can only watch 2 hours at a time, I feel, unless it's a big special event. With barring a couple of exceptions, when it's a super show, 2 hours is the optimal time. And so many places I do work, I've seen them go over and put on 8 matches and go 3 hours. It's just not necessary. So you don't have to get burnt out when you come to WrestleForce. Every match is terrific. I try and put a bit of variety, so I'll try and put a British rounds match on. I'll try and have a high-flying match on. I'll try and book some hard-hitting heavyweights as well. There's a nice little variety. Every match is a little different. So
yeah, sounds good. And you're in action later as well. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You're pulling double duty here. Do you still enjoy it in the ring? I mean, what do you enjoy doing most? Do you enjoy the promoting side of it, or being in the ring still?
Very much the ring,
Yeah.
and that's partly why I put on these shows,
Yeah.
is to be able to give myself as much work as I have.
Mhm.
But and I love the challenge of promoting, and the fact that I can have the say in it. As I mentioned, I've been at several other events where I've thought, this is a bit long,
Yeah.
amongst other things, and then it's just the ability to be able to do it yourself is a relief, because instead of being on a show where you're just like, I wish this was different, I wish this was different, I wish this was different, well, you can get it out your system and do it the way you see fit,
Mhm.
so that's a relief. But to answer your question, I enjoy both equally. They're both very challenging.
Cool, you look like you do. Well, thank you for your time. Where can people check you out, and all the links?
Peace the Wrestler, that's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram is Peace the Wrestler. Also WrestleForce UK, same handles, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WrestleForce UK.
Yep. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck with today.
Thanks,
Cheers.
I'm going to go
Thank
have a match.